What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. To keep an eye on come Sunday. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts right now. How do we feel about Jalen Hurts? Well, Jake, where would you rank Jalen Hurts? I mean, a guy who we thought coming out of a Super Bowl run was a consensus top 5 guy, got paid, love his intangibles, his legs, his build, his body. I mean, he's revolutionized the game in some ways with the tush push and whatnot. But it felt like this was going to be a top 5 guy for years to come, and now feels like he's kind of fallen to middle of the pack a little bit.
Yeah, I got him somewhere. When you asked, I was like, quickly, let me pull it up. Between like 9 and 12, somewhere in that range, I think. I still think there's things that he does at a very high level. The one thing that I still think is a negative check mark against him, he seems to always have like one play.
Yeah.
Like one play in all of these close games that you're scratching your head wondering what made him do that.
Is this a situation where NFL coordinators kind of figured out what he did well and have now figured out how to kind of punch back and put him in positions that he doesn't like?
I mean, somewhat. I think somewhat. Now, he still goes out there and makes plays. He still brings a dynamic that not a lot of people can bring. In fact, like as far as his body type and the things you can do with him, I don't really have a comp because he's, not just a dual threat quarterback. He can run Q power, Q counter in the NFL that nobody else can. I mean, Josh Allen can do some of that.
He's got the body for it.
But, yeah, Jalen Hurts is built like a running back.
Yeah.
And he still does things at a high level. But, yeah, I mean, it's not like it's awful, but I put him somewhere 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there.
Jalen Hurts, a running quarterback. Something that has traditionally, it feels like, given the Saints trouble in recent memory. Now, it's tough to think about anything troubling the Saints defense that has looked so dominant through 2 games. And one thing that will help guys, Marshawn Lattimore back at practice yesterday in a limited role, but expected to go on Sunday. Not as nice. Taysom Hill did not practice yesterday because of that chest injury that caused him to go to the hospital. Actually, let me just read the exact quote from Dennis Allen here. Where'd I put him in notes? Quote, "I'm kind of hopeful he'll at least get out and get some limited work Thursday. We'll just monitor him throughout the week. Hopefully he'll be ready to go, and if not, some other guys will have to step up." Obviously, you really want Taysom Hill to play in this game because this is I'm intrigued to see in the future if he does miss a game, just like how much is taken away, right? Because the impact of Taysom Hill right now on this New Orleans Saints offense is not just the raw statistics. It's everywhere they're lining him up. It's everything you're making the defense account for. And so I do wonder if he has to miss, how much does Clint Kubiak's attack change therein. But yeah, the Saints going against Jalen Hurts, they haven't played a running quarterback yet this year. And if you think about things that maybe make you concerned, that would be chief among them. That said, this is a Philly defense that has not been good at defending the run. And so I believe that while Clint Kubiak coming, I do not expect them to put up 40 again. I don't expect them to come out and score in their first 7 drives again. I do think that they'll have success. I think this is going to be a close game. I like the Saints to win, being at home in the Superdome.
This is also the Eagles' first true road game of the year. They open up in Brazil. Then they had Atlanta at home. And so this is going to be something, where they've got a lot of young players on that team that are going to have to handle the Superdome being at its peak. That's another storyline in this game. If you're looking at things that worry you from what the Falcons can do, I think it's all Jalen Hurts for me. Saquon Barkley.
I was going to tell you, where are we at with Saquon?
Somebody, but Saints' run defense has been so good. Now, the added dynamic of a running quarterback gives you the extra blocker if it's Q runs, and also if things break down, that's where it becomes more difficult to defend. So Saquon Barkley is a great player when healthy, no question about it. But Jalen Hurts' legs kind of make me more nervous in this matchup. A.J. Brown not going to be out there. That's a big win for the Saints because he is a game changer. Doesn't mean you can't, rest. I mean, you still have other receivers, tight ends, certainly. But you take that guy off the football field, it just changes the dynamic of your offense because there's not many guys like him.
Well, and I mean, what? You're going to tell me that now all the Saints have to do is focus on shutting down Devontae Smith? Like, Devontae Smith's a good player, but if you can do what you did against CeeDee Lamb. Now, granted, CeeDee Lamb, he got his play, but CeeDee Lamb felt you.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb felt you. If you can do that against CeeDee, you can do that against Devontae. If you no longer have to account for him and AJ, that is a big break.
Yeah, Jahan Dotson's, he got traded from the Commanders. He's still trying to play catch up. You can tell. I mean, the playbook right now is not something that is his friend. And that's tough. It's very difficult. I've had to do that, and it's very, very difficult when you've known an offense. All of a sudden, you look up, and you've got to go learn something completely new. He is not up to speed right now. You look at some of the other receivers that they have. I mean, they're more scat guys who you are very suited to go out there and be able to defend those kind of receivers with who you have at nickel and who you have in your defensive back. So, honestly, like when you start looking at weapons, it's like, okay, well, if you shut down Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts has to be the main point of focus for you because Devontae Smith's going to make plays. He's going to have some yards. But can he take over the game and beat you? Right now, without A.J. Brown, I don't think so.
Strength on strength. You're only giving up 63 rush yards a game. They're going for 180 a game. Who's going to win that battle? Starts up front. But you mentioned Alontae Taylor. Hell, even his ability to create havoc this season's been an early boon for New Orleans. So it's a matchup. Like if you want a matchup to watch, Eagles rushing attack, Saints rush defense this Sunday. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.